bring up buzz and tone.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
Fade to black
2,
and fade out tone.
1. 10, 9,
Ready to
8,
fade in slate.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
Fade in
2,
slate.
1. 10, 9, 8,
Ready to fade to
7,
black.
6, 5, 4, 3,
Fade
2,
to black.
1. 10, 9,
Ready to fade
8,
in opening
7,
graphic and music.
6, 5, 4, 3,
Fade in graphic
2,
and music.
1. 10,
Ready to
9,
fade out music,
8,
fade in host
7,
mic and dissolve to
6,
camera 2. Ready to
5,
true talent, dissolve to
4,
camera 2,
3,
fade out music,
2,
opening.
1.
Ready to bring up the host keynote.
Oh,
Have him fade up.
graphics
Camera
are
2.
wonky.
Camera 2.
And today we have a special guest here. His name is Dylan Wood.
Ready to bring
Welcome
up
to the
host
show,
mic.
Dylan.
Okay.
Hey, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Sure, anytime. What's your favorite hobby and favorite thing to talk about?
So one of my favorite hobbies is playing video games, and one of my favorite things about it is just the interactive storytelling, the,
Camera 1.
Yeah.
you know,
Take 1.
just the actual gameplay itself. It's all very fun. It's
Ready camera 2.
just entertaining, really.
Nice. How do you want to improve and expand
Ready camera
your
1.
hobby long term? And do you have any
Ready to
specific goals in
bring
mind?
the guest
So
name.
one goal I have is finally getting around to some of the games on my backlog. BioShock, you know, Titanfall 2, Borderlands. I have way too many that I haven't even played. When it's like I'm just replaying Cyberpunk in New Vegas and stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
And I mean,
Take 2.
of course, just putting more parts in my computer as they come along. I
Ready,
eventually
camera
want to
three.
upgrade my CPU. I don't really need to, but
Yeah.
it's just one of those numbers games where I want the next one in line.
Nice. What would you tell someone
Ready camera 1.
who's getting into the hobby for the first time?
Take
I
1.
would say get a console. Get a used console. Super cheap, nice entry way of getting in. You can get a cheap PC, but usually it's a lot harder to actually find the right PC that can run the games you want. When you have a console, it can usually run what you need.
Is there anyone you look up to or like to watch?
Ready camera 1.
Yeah, in my, usually in the background, kind of like a podcast, is just like Game Grumps, Markiplier, sometimes Alpha Rad, stuff like that. Just stuff in the background while I'm usually working on other stuff, and then occasionally when I'm just bored.
Take 3.
Nice. Is it expensive to maintain your hobby, and do you make any money from it?
Take 1.
I guess you can make money from it. I don't.
Ready camera 2.
I don't have the personality or the, desire for streaming or anything like that.
Really? Oh,
But
man.
I mean, if you put money into a computer, it can get really expensive. I have probably spent too much on my computer, but
Take 1.
it's rewarding because it's like you play Cyberpunk at like
3.
80 frames per second on max settings, and it's just it makes dopamine receptors in my brain just go. But and also just not having to worry about if I can run it. And it's a nice peace of mind, but it's very expensive, and I honestly don't recommend going all out on a computer. You can get a pretty good budget build.
Nice. Have you ever left your hobby or thought about quitting?
Not really.
Take 2.
I mean, like occasionally, it's probably good to take some breaks from it.
Yeah.
Like
Ready camera 2.
but really, it's usually like a day at most. I probably play games a little bit too much, but it's fun, and it's like it's free time anyway. So
Nice. Well, that's all today, folks. And
Now stretch it.
I'd like to
No, we
think,
need to stretch it.
stretch it out.
and I'd like to thank Dylan for coming here on the show. And once again, I am Edward,
Yeah, you just stretch
Still
it
have
out.
1 minute, so can
Just
you
come
please
up with
stretch
something.
it
Use
out?
your backup
and
questions.
thanks for watching the show.
It's not
Is
stretching.
it-
Okay, so we need to
You
stretch
have another
it.
question there somewhere?
You got
Do you have
backup
a question?
questions here. If you need extra time, just use those.
I did tell him to stretch it out.
Well, now that these ancient specimens are only now
What?
being...
No, that's not. No. It's this one.
Okay, it's fine. Can you close it?
All right.
Close it up?
How long have you been doing this hobby?
Oh, wrap it up.
Well, that's all for today, folks. And once again, I am Edward Kira, and I'd like to thank Dylan here for coming on the show. And
Go ahead and
Fade
get
in
ready.
music and a host. Ready to
and
feed our
your
tomates?
side quest for everyone here.
Ready to dissolve the graphics?